Good morning, everyone. This is Olga Adler from Austin Businesswoman, and today we're going to talk about the magic of photography and storytelling through photography. These days, everything is about storytelling. You can't blog without telling a story, you can't promote your products or your brand without telling a story. Basically, everything people want is hearing an interesting story. And my guest today is Joi Conti, professional photographer with a world famous name who's going to tell us how important it is to use professional photography for promoting whatever you want. Either it's your lifestyle blog, either it's your Instagram account, or your products in an e-commerce store. Hi, Joy. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Olga. Thank you so much for inviting me, and happy International Women's Day, at least when we're filming this, right? How awesome
Oh,
is
yeah. Happy International Women's Day.
that? But
So
yeah,
that's
thank
our
you.
very special treat.
Yeah, seriously. And thank you so much again for inviting me here. Just being able to talk to you and talk to the viewers about photography and storytelling and what I do in general is just such a gift. So thank you.
Yeah. Speaking about what you do, how did you start doing photography?
Um, let's see. I might even start from even before I decided to become a photographer. And for the longest time, when I was really little, I wanted to become a ballerina. Like, I wanted to become part of uh, the troupe. Oh my God, I'm forgetting like the group name of it. But I was really serious about it. I've always loved movement, and I've always loved costumings. And even when you think about a recital, right? It's always themed. There's always like a, oh, um, we're going to do something about flowers. Oh, we're going to do something kind of Disney related. And so I've always loved being immersed in that kind of story. And being able to present that to people as well, where a story is happening in front of you, movement is happening in front of you, energy, feelings, and moods. And so, I was really serious about it. I forgot how serious, but it was to the point that I definitely got tested by some schools in Russia and maybe like France, like the ladies who run it, like were in my school where I was. But at some point, maybe puberty hit and like something happened where I was like, I think I need to take a break. And from there, that's actually how I found photography, where I still wanted to be in the arts. There was still something inside of me where I wanted to be able to express myself with all the stories and books and fables and myths that I've read, that I wanted to also kind of recreate that and share it with people. And so that's really how photography kind of blossomed in my life. Um,
Mhm.
and I went to school for it. I went to college for it, and I actually graduated with an advertising photography major degree. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and that can be. It sounds really like hefty, but it's just being able to um, illustrate like either a brand, illustrate a person um, through photography, right? That just happens to be my medium, because you have so many people out there, including um, filmmakers, cinematographers, illustrators, people in visual media that will always tell stories, and everyone can be a storyteller. For me, the way that I just end up telling stories and being able to present these stories is through my photography. So that's it in a nutshell.
no, this is a beautiful mission. And a lot of people who come to you, I'm sure they don't even know what story they want to tell because they might be just showing themselves. It's just a portrait. Or they might be like, well, I'm selling this skincare, but it's good skincare. That's the whole story. So, how do you come up with the actual, style and theme and everything that comes into this image?
Yeah, I love connecting with people first and foremost, and maybe this is a good time for me to bring the three words, or the three C's that I call it, that really energize me, and it's creativity, collaboration, and community. So I guess we'll pick the second C, which is collaboration. Um, I really love connecting with people. I mean, that's probably why you see me in almost all your Austin
Yes.
Businesswoman events that I can make. I love being able to know who people are, over, like, beyond the surface level, beyond like, okay, well, this is what I want to do. I want to really know what the values or the mission statement of your brand is, your company, who you are as an influencer, who you are as a model, right? And from there, you can turn words into um, visual suggestions, right? Whether it's the tiny details that you see in the props behind them, the background, whether
Hmm.
it's the tiny things that you have on you, your what you're wearing. Because my business coach reminded me the other day, what you wear can be like your business card, right? This is just how you present yourself. And so, that was such a great reminder. So what you wear, what's in your background, maybe like what the props are, and the way that you light things too. You can have some soft light to make it look a little bit more delicate, a little bit more lifestyle-y, easy breezy, or you can have really harsh lighting to really either show strength. Of course, it depends on how the person is posing as well. So that's how you end up visually translating words, right, into a picture. Because
Hmm.
I mean, photography, after all, like I had to look this up the other day, and it means drawing with light, right? And I thought,
Oh,
right, and I thought that was so beautiful. It's like, yeah, that's true. And I'm not going to go into how like the camera works and how it takes in light and how it reflects it. I don't want to bore you with that, but drawing with light. So that's also something that I remind myself every time I work with somebody is I am drawing with light, but I also want them to tell me like what they want to express in the photo. And yeah, I mean, I can go into my process, but do you have any questions about what I said?
yeah. Can you show any examples and maybe describe the story that went into those images?
Yeah, let me share my screen. Da, da, da. Okay. All right. Do you see my screen? Do you see anything?
Yes. Oh, wow.
Okay. So, I took this a long time ago, but it's still a shoot that I really love. And I actually collaborated with the fashion designer. His name is Allende. I think he is in Georgia right now, but this was us when we were back in New York. And we
Wow. This
this is
is gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this is his beautiful work. He did all the accessories, but I remember talking to him. I was like, okay, what is the mood and feel of what you want for this kind of work? And he told me, like, okay, well, this is what I'm thinking. And so we created a mood board, and a mood board is basically pictures, words. I think this is. Oh no, there's one more. There's pictures and words of like how you want something to look. So you don't necessarily have to copy the picture of what's on your mood board, but it still gives you the feeling of like, oh, I wanted it to be like in an urban area. I still wanted it to um, have volume, focus on shapes, but also focus on the model. Um, but yeah, so this is one
Gorgeous work.
idea. Thank you, thank you. And any fashion designers out there, I'm always open to collaborating. So I've been trying to look for other fashion designers around here. But anyway, this one was what I did briefly when I went to the Bay Area, and there's this beautiful park that has a bunch of ice plants, and this one
Oh,
was a little bit more out there, and that's why I think,
zero gravity. Those
yeah.
ladies are floating.
Exactly, and that's what I love that you mentioned zero gravity, because I really love movement, and I really love being able to capture movement in a what's it called, um, just kind of keeping a moment in time still. This one doesn't have too much movement, but this one I collaborated with three up and coming stylists in the Bay Area, and it was really cold, so they had a lot of coats. And so we just had fun out there. But being able to talk to them and ask them what the narrative is of the story of what they wanted to tell, and they had a bit more of a fairy tale aspect to this, and so I wanted to bring that in when I shot this, when I decided to um, pick the lights that I would bring, the accessories that I would bring to the shoot, as well as the post production, the retouching, and all that stuff. um,
Wow, see, the audience is very impressed. Maria just looks amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for commenting.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also, this one I actually just did, maybe it was last year, by the cute nail salon. I actually called them because I was like, "Is it okay if I shoot there early in the morning?" They're like, "Yeah." And I was so lucky to find a model who had all these like really colorful um, outfits, and just happened to match the scenery. So this is a bit more like kitschy lifestyle, but I love being happy too. I'm like happy and dramatic. That can be a mixture. Um, and this is just actually, she's a model who reached out to me and was like, I like your work. I would want to do this. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then from there, we started talking about like certain looks, certain feelings. And so we were going for emotion mostly with this photo shoot. So you kind of see her a little bit more um, happy on the right. And
Mhm.
then on the left, she's a bit more like thinking about life, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Poetic and pensive.
exactly, exactly. All with a turtleneck, black and white. You know what I mean?
Oh, that turtleneck, that Silicon Valley turtleneck.
Exactly, exactly. So here, let me stop sharing my screen because I think that's it
Oh
for.
no, we want
Oh,
more. I'm
more?
kidding.
Oh,
It's just
sorry.
it's so so what genre of photography is it? They're all different, but they look kind of different from, regular portraits, headshots. And I know that photographers themselves sometimes struggle with terminology, but can you imagine the consumer? Like, we know nothing. So they're like, this looks like glossy magazine kind, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I've been filing it under editorial photography, editorial
Mhm.
fashion, because editorial that is a huge umbrella of things. But editorial, in a nutshell, are things that you can see in a magazine that tell a story. They are not necessarily trying to sell you the fashion of what they're wearing. The fashion is there to complement the story and give you a suggestion of what's going on. But it's more of the story that really like brings it through. Um,
Mhm.
I think, yeah, and that's kind of where I would file myself under. And even with headshots that I do, like recently, I just photographed a company headshot, and I still try to bring in story by bringing the person's personality out of it. Like, yeah, a headshot is I wouldn't want to say it's easy, it's work, but in order to really have somebody look at the headshot and go, there's something to this that I can't really look away from. You almost have to have that conversation with your subject and really have them really give you like how they feel, right? And I tend to make people laugh a lot because I think looking at a headshot and people smiling is just like something that I like to do, 'cause especially if you don't know somebody and you go, wait, like I don't really know how to feel about this person. Almost a smile kind
Mhm.
of sends you to that connection. But I'm getting off track here. But yeah, just even with a headshot, I like being able to tell a person's personality, like how open they are, how much they love to laugh, because I think that's important. But yeah.
Well, speaking of being open, I know myself when I'm in front of the camera and a lot of people, it's not a pretty image because a lot of people don't have that, you know, charisma that shines through. People get nervous, people get tense, people don't know what to do with their arms, hands, noses, and they don't like themselves on the pictures. And they're like, this is not me, and they don't know how to pose. So, how do you help people, get through the process without being tense?
Yeah, it really starts from even before the photo session happens. That's why the connection through email and a phone call is necessary, because there I actually ask, have you done a photo shoot before, and what has helped you, like what do you like about it, what don't you like about it. And a lot of people end up saying, like, I just feel uncomfortable in front of the camera, like you said. And that's just where I kind of come in and just really ask these questions, like, okay, why is it that you feel this way? And I know that's a really blunt way of asking, because I actually have like baby steps to get to that point. But I really just tell people, that it's just me, and they're like, yeah, it's just you, I don't know you. I mean, they're not saying that, but that is the answer. But I tell them, like, I'm going to be able to walk you through this. I know there are certain poses out there that we can do, but ultimately, what I want to do is to capture the candidness of certain things. So maybe I'll just have you, I will talk to you during the photo shoot, and through our conversation, you might be able to share something really funny that just happened last week. You start laughing, and I get it. And by get it, I capture that moment, and that's where the genuineness really shines through. At least for me, this is how I work, is being able to have a conversation with people even during the photo shoot, connecting with them, maybe even asking them, like, think about that vacation you've always wanted to take. Think about like your favorite your favorite pet. That's what came to mind. Maybe your dog or your cat who makes you happy, right? And then from there, like, I have them go, like, okay, roll your shoulders back, breathe in and out. And maybe this is coming from, like, I did yoga teacher training, so this also like helps with it too, being able to relax your shoulders, maybe even, if it's a headshot or a portrait, so you're not seeing somebody's legs, hooking your thumb on your belt loop or your pocket, because by doing that, kind of relaxes the shoulder back a little bit.
All
Yeah,
those life hacks.
right. Yeah, I have several,
Let
and
me try
also,
that.
yeah. I don't have any pockets, but it just helps, right?
I
Um,
feel very relaxed.
you look awesome.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. Well, take
yeah,
pictures of me. See,
I
I'm
know.
ready to tell a story.
So that's actually what happened during all the closures, and when people were kind of stuck at home, is that photography was going on Zoom and people were taking screenshots. I never quite figured it out, but maybe we'll figure it out
Really?
now.
Wow, people are really resourceful. They find a way to shine in any circumstance.
Exactly. And I think that's also what photography is about. Besides being able to, like, capture and kind of make you go wow in like a second or two, it's problem solving. It's a lot of problem solving about how to convey what the person is saying, and how to pose somebody to make them look relaxed as if they've done this forever. And also problem solving with the equipment, the lights, making sure that you get the right light and everything is illuminated in the way that either you as a photographer want it to be illuminated, or if you have like a commercial job where in commercial photography, you mostly have the client has all the say in everything, and you follow those rules. So, being able to also meet the what's required of you from your client. So,
Mhm. Speaking of commercial photography, I've seen, I don't know if it qualifies product photography. I've seen your work with jewelry brands and other brands where there is no person and it's just an object and it looks gorgeous. I don't know if you have any examples, but people can go to your website and find it. So, um, we work with a lot of businesses, women owned businesses, and I've seen a lot of pages on social media, websites that stand out because of the quality of photography of their product. And then some pages where people DIY it with their cell phones. Thank God. Now, smartphones are really smart. They do a lot of things for you. They even do the light and everything. Of course, it's not perfect, but you kind of see the difference. As you said, there is no story behind it. How do you approach your clients who are selling products? How do you explain the importance of professional photography for retail?
yeah, I think the first thing that I say, and I kind of remind them, you're probably one of the most creative people that I know, and I'm so happy that I know somebody through like Awesome Businesswoman to know so many creative people. Um, you are a creative person, but you're also one person. Like, you, to a degree, you will need to delegate work. So the person that you delegate the work to can focus on this and bring your vision to life. So you can focus on your business. You can focus on creating these beautiful products that you're making, whatever it might be, right? Whether it's jewelry, you crochet, right? Anything, soaps, whatever it might be. Um, so I just kind of remind them that me personally, I'm here to be able to support you, to support your vision, to have your products um, feel seen and shown, and to even create a story behind that product. Because as a maker, I feel like you always have that story in your head, but to extend it to other people and to be able to show it to other people what's going on in your head, it takes another, I don't know, another wave of effort to do that. And sometimes trying to focus on like also doing your own product photography takes away from the work that you would be doing. So I just encourage people to usually talk to a photographer, whether it's me or somebody else. Just make sure that it's a photographer that A, you can communicate with, B, you get along with, C, like you like their work so much that you trust them to be able to take your product to the next level, to be able to have people see like what exactly is like the story in your head. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, yeah, because it really makes a difference. And when you see that the maker, the seller is happy with how their product is presented, it it shows. You can tell from their confidence, you can tell from the numbers that are getting better and better because people are very visual these days. So we all scroll on social media, and all the marketing guides tell you to go where your audience is at. So it social media, online media, that's where we shop. That's where we find something. And you don't have the same experience you have at the store where you can pick it up, look at it, feel it, touch it. The image is the only thing you get. So it really helps when the same thing sold by one seller and the other seller, the quality of photography is the key ingredient. So how do people start, if they decided to work with you, how does the onboarding process start?
Yeah, the onboarding process really starts with just emailing me, right? Sometimes I get direct messages from on Instagram, but I check my email more, and I don't know if that's an old school thing, but I check my email more. So emailing me would be the first step. And then the second step is I email you back. And with that email, there will be a form. And I know people go, "Oh, it's another form," and it's like, well, this form is going to be really easy because it's talking about you and your brand. And so just basic questions that really ask you like, what kind of photography are you looking to get? Because I get requests from a whole array of photography sessions. It's like, okay, product photography, what's involved, how many people are involved, because sometimes with product photography you want something called like parts model, where you don't see the model's face but you see the model
Mhm.
holding something, right? So
Mhm.
my
And
first thing, yeah, hands. You can even have it like maybe just the neck, maybe it's just the torso for jewelry. And I do have some images. I don't know if you want
oh
to.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
let's
I
see.
knew a woman who worked as a foot model in Italy. She would just
Ooh,
showcase the new collection of shoes, and it was just her foot. She didn't
that,
have to show anything else. It's like,
that's
well, that's a cool job.
That's really cool. Yeah. And also, I feel like people who are parts models, like mostly, they really have to take care of whatever part that
I
it
know the hands. It's like my hands are dry half the year. I don't know how those ladies are doing it with nail art and jewelry. I don't know. It's
gloves and a lot of lotion.
I know special greenhouse conditions for your hands.
Yeah. Okay. Let me share my screen. Share. Okay. Can you see?
Oh yeah, that looks
Okay.
yummy.
Right. So this is for a brand called Gem Steady, And we were just playing around in her kitchen, and luckily we just had all these things where I was like, oh, let's play with water. Let's play with this avocado. And we did eat the avocado afterwards, so no food waste.
Sustainable.
Exactly. Oh, this is a little different, but this is for Bits of Joy crafts, and she makes these polymer clay earrings. So yeah, you do see the model here, but if you focus on the left image, the makeup um, matches the earring to kind of give it a
Hmm.
back. And she's a great makeup artist here in Austin. So if you need her information, just let me know. Always happy to send people information. This is also for Bits of Joy craft. And now this is more, I'm trying to think if I shot this with daylight. I'm pretty sure I shot this with daylight because she is like, her brand is a bit more whimsical, light,
Hmm.
airy, fun. And so I shot it with daylight because I knew that I can like create this kind of lighting. And also I prop them up. Like with product photography, you don't really see what it's propped on. I mean, you can probably tell with the image on the right where there's a crystal, a stone that's propping up one of the earrings. But sometimes there are certain things that photographers will use in order to prop something up so it's completely invisible, or they just take it out and post. So that's a couple of things that I've done too in the past. This is also for Bits of Joy Craft. Like, I know that you see the model again, but the model is wearing accessories that are trying to give that kind of same feeling of lifestyle, the same feeling of what do you call that? A bit more like fun, youthful, right?
Summary.
Summery, yes, exactly. Oh, this is
People get really impressed with the avocado. There's several comments. You advertise the avocado really well.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Maybe I should shoot for one of the avocado brands. Um, okay, I'm just skipping through this for a second, but this was for a company called Beja Fleur, and they do skincare, lotion. And so that's what we were just showing off here, is that, she's putting lotion on her cheek. I think I forgot what kind of product she's holding in her hands, but that's one of the materials that Beja Fleur uses for their brand. Also for
Wow.
Asia Floor too, because yeah, the owner has a shop called Concept 47, and these are some of the items that she sells at Concept 47. This is for Hudson, Maine. As you can see, it says Jersey City, New Jersey, but I did photograph this in Austin. um,
Yeah.
so showing off that kind of lifestyle, chill vibe where, picnic anywhere with my blanket. You have your bag, you have your hat, and you can just feel chill the entire day. Also for Hudson, Maine, a little bit more of a different feel. I told him to throw the towel because I like movement, so that's what happened. Um,
Yeah, it looks alive. It looks almost like a video.
oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that just that still moment. This one is a little different, but we're here anyway. This is more of a lookbook, and it falls under commercial because for people who are in the fashion industry, who make dresses, who make whatever it is, these are the things that they present to potential people that they might want to collaborate with or have their beautiful wares with. And so, models are just looking at me pretty much still, and I can't take credit for the background because that is the fashion designer also created this background in their home.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I was so happy. All I needed to do was come over and light. Usually, I'd help with backgrounds and setting a stage up, but he had a vision, and I was like, yeah, I'm all for your vision, so let's do this. Um,
Beautiful.
Here we go. This is Shelley Moon Designs. She is an Austin jewelry maker, and I did this still life for her. And it took us a while to kind of get to the feeling of the background that she wanted, because she told me, like, okay, she wanted it simple, but she didn't want it just against white. And so we started like texting back and forth about certain things that she loves, jewelry, photography that she loves, and ultimately we landed on, like, okay, I like fabric, and I want
Mhm.
you to this with the fabric. And so it was me and her jewelry, because sometimes, sometimes the stylist isn't available, right? And so I end up styling the shoot as well, which
Mhm.
is fine. Like, I've done it before, but this is what I ended up doing for her. Um,
So simple, but so elegant at
yeah,
the same time.
thank you so much. Yeah, and so yeah, that some of my jewelry, and this is another photo for Shelley Moon Designs. She brought in this wonderful model. And so you can see her wearing her jewelry, and we actually photographed this at her place. All I needed to do was bring my equipment, because I keep telling people that I'm a mobile photo studio, right? A studio doesn't necessarily make a photographer. It's like what you do with the equipment and how you shoot, right? And so
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
brought.
it's great that people can just style it in their homes and their kitchens, and it still looks like it's from a fashion magazine. So it doesn't look, you know, made at home with your phone. It still looks professional.
Yeah, and thank you so much for that. It's really, again, like, this is one of the reasons why I think people should think about bringing in a photographer, is because they'll be able to see your product, your brand in a new light. Just as long as you've communicated, like, what your values are, like what you like, what you don't like. A photographer will be there to almost have just like that beginner's, like, open mind, to be like, okay, blank canvas, blank slate, this is what we're going to do. And then from there, you collaborate and create. um, this might be one of the last ones. This is for Skylar Blue, and I didn't realize that going into any stadiums or sports arenas in Texas, that you need a clear bag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so she started making these really beautiful clear bags. And so this was actually photographed at her friend's apartment, who had a lot of space. She just brought in the turf. I helped style the bag. Like, she and her assistants, like, put the accessories on the bags, and then knotted the handkerchief.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm blanking on the term. But putting it on the ground, making the strap dance a little bit on the ground, is something that I help do, besides photograph it and light it.
It's
Yeah,
great how just bringing the turf tells you a story and tells you it's for a stadium for some athletic kind of setting. It's just a background. You didn't put a soccer or football in front of it.
yeah,
Uh, it's just the background,
yeah,
and you understand right away. Okay, I know what it's for.
exactly. It's all these subtle details that really make a photo. It doesn't have to be that loud, unless, of course, that is what the brand is, like bright, loud, vibrant. Um, but little tiny details to just kind of bring the point home.
Mhm.
I think here I'll stop sharing the. Oops. Okay.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
I can imagine how much value it brings to anyone who wants to make a statement, because this is how we can tell the world we're unique, or whatever we do is unique. Or on the other hand, we can tell them how to categorize us so we are more understood and trustworthy, because we want to look at something that we have associations with, and you help people create those links between image, mood, emotion, process, sometimes call to action, because that's what all businesses are interested in. I don't just want a pretty picture. I want the picture to make people buy my product or subscribe or follow me or listen to my podcast, and that's all in one picture.
Yeah, and I think for me too, it I want people to also be able to, like, stop at the photo and just look at it for a second, because what you brought up, we are so used to scrolling, and it's just what we do now, right? And if there's a moment that I can just give people where they can just, like, stop for a second, breathe, right? And just
Mhm.
to look, like, I think I've done my job by just being able to do that, and also being able to help whatever brand or somebody's, like, portrait or headshot, right? To be able to announce themselves fully from the heart, who they are, and to also make them feel seen and also worthy of a photo shoot. I've been um, getting a lot of people where I actually talk to them about this because they're like, oh, I don't really feel like I'm worth a photo shoot. And I'm like, what do you mean? It like it breaks my heart when I hear that. And they're like, well, I just, X, Y, and Z, right? And I just tell them, I was like, I think you're beyond worth having like your picture taken and having something that you can look at in memory and also be able to share that with people. So who you are, of course, you're worth a photo shoot. Of course, you're worth telling other people who you are and what your story is. Like, sorry, I'm getting a little teary eyed, but I don't. I like making people feel good. I want people to feel energized and happy after working with me. Like that's ultimately like what makes me happy, right? Is that I was of service to them. I made them happy. I made them feel seen. And I've been able to tell their story. So, you know, yeah.
Thank you. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I know our audience is waiting for a special offer. We announced it before because you said that you would share something special with them. So, what is it?
Yeah. So, for people watching right now, I would like to offer my services. The first three people who will email me, um, I would like to help you create that kind of style, create a mood board, create a feeling, especially when it's hard for you to connect. Like, well, this is what I want. I'm not really sure how to take it visually or where to go. I would like to help you do that with either with a mood board or just talking to you as well. And yeah, from that email, actually, I'm offering the three first people who email me a private phone call to be able to chat about everything that they want, your hopes and dreams, right? Like everything that
Mhm.
you want to accomplish, everything that you love, and funnel it and turn it into a bit more of a visual story. This doesn't really bind you to working with me, but at least this is the first step to kind of help you think in that way.
This is very generous. Thank you so much. And thank you for this interview and for showing your work. I'm sure people are going to see it and they're going to want to follow and want to work with you. And happy International Women's Day.
Yes, happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much again, Olga, and I appreciate every one of you who have joined us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Have a nice day. And email Joy. There is her email address below in the caption. Email her to redeem the special offer.
Yes, definitely. And I'll get back to you within 24 hours for sure. Yep.
Do that. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.